Welcome to Aviator DB News Briefing. Today is Monday, May 11th, 2026. Here's a look at weather across the nation today. In the East Coast, New York is looking at overcast with a high of 66 and a low of 50. In the central U.S., Chicago is looking at overcast with a high of 53 and a low of 45. In the West Coast, Los Angeles is looking at foggy with a high of 81 and a low of 57. Here are today's top stories. Frontier flight strikes, kills trespasser on Denver airport runway. Eve Air Mobility secures $230 million in direct share offering. Boeing 777-9 first flight, Lufthansa production aircraft takes maiden flight. Now for the details. Denver, a Frontier Airlines flight struck and killed a person who breached security and ran onto an active runway at Denver International Airport Friday night, officials confirmed. Flight 4345, an Airbus A321neo bound for Los Angeles International Airport with 224 passengers and 7 crew members, was preparing for takeoff on runway 17L when the incident occurred. The individual had scaled the perimeter fence and reached the runway approximately 2 minutes before being struck by the aircraft. Pilots reported an engine fire and immediately aborted takeoff, leading to a safe evacuation via emergency slides. 5 passengers were hospitalized with injuries sustained during the evacuation. The National Transportation Safety Board is leading the investigation into the fatal incident. Airport officials characterized the event as a preventable tragedy resulting from a security breach. All passengers have been rebooked on alternative flights following the disruption at Denver International Airport. Eve Air Mobility secured $230 million in a registered direct offering as Embraer's urban air mobility subsidiary strengthens its financial position for electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft development. Eve Air Mobility, NYSE EveX, issued 47.4 million shares at $4.85 each, closing the transaction August 15, 2025. The company plans to use proceeds for operations, potential acquisitions, and debt repayment. In a strategic move, Eve established a dual listing on Brazil's B3 exchange through Brazilian depositary receipts, broadening its investor base beyond U.S. markets. The funding supports Eve's goal to accelerate eVTOL certification and commercial deployment. The company's stock has surged 144% over the past year, reflecting strong investor confidence in urban air mobility. Cantor Fitzgerald and Raymond James served as placement agents for the offering. The capital injection positions Eve to compete in the growing eVTOL market as the industry moves toward commercial operations. Boeing 777-9 first flight, Lufthansa production aircraft takes maiden flight. The first production Boeing 777-9 completed its maiden flight on May 7, 2026 from Boeing's Everett, Washington facility. The 3-hour, 27-minute flight was piloted by Boeing test pilots Ted Grady and Jake Miller, operating under test registration N20080, before receiving its airline registration DABTG. Full configuration testing. Unlike typical test flights featuring minimal interiors, this aircraft includes Lufthansa's complete cabin configuration with premium and economy seating, in-flight entertainment systems, and full cabin amenities. The flight focused on structural integrity and core systems validation with the production interior installed. Certification path forward. According to Aviation Week, upcoming phases include cabin interior certification and long-haul connectivity integration testing. Boeing officials indicated the aircraft will undergo rigorous flight testing over the coming months before certification completion. As the 777X launch customer, Lufthansa represents a crucial milestone for Boeing's newest widebody program, with entry into service dependent on final certification approval. That's all we have for today. You can get the latest aviation news at aviatordb.com.